that you, the owner, might want to do as far as after construction starts? Do you see something?
Say like the alternate addenda that you put out for the oven, for the range, rather than just the electric cooktop. That could be one of your one of the change orders that we see come in. And
so let's say the inspector's doing closeout and says you missed code required outlet on a hallway because it's more than 2 feet. Am I paying for that?
No, absolutely not.
That would be a code. That would be if it's in violation of code. You know, as the electrical subcontractor, you know it's our duty to meet code.
You're paying for our expertise.
So we will pick up costs like that that are against code.
That you pick up sheetrock and painting.
No. No.
Good try.
Well, I mean, so does the sheetrocker come to me and say, you missed 200 outlets and I have to pay for $500 a shot? I have to pay for $10,000 worth of sheetrock repair because you missed a code required installation?
Well, if we miss that many outlets.
Oh, it's just one hallway times
right,
200
correct,
units.
yeah.
If we're affecting other people's scope in that way, like that's our duty to pay for it. And if it's something that we miss, like there's no reason why we wouldn't step up and take care of that. Like we're interested in having a relationship with both the general contractor and the owner on multiple projects. Like this is we're not interested in being one and done with you guys and walking out of here with a frown on both of our faces. We're interested in covering up any issues we have. We don't foresee any issues. We try our best not to have issues, but if they arise, we're going to address them.
Okay. Yeah, thank you.
I have a real quick question on the schedule that you submitted with your written proposal. One of the activities you've listed is install kitchen appliances. Does your bid include installing the actual appliances?
Bentley?
No, it does not. It
does not. Okay.
Did you just show that as a task for you to do hookup?
It could have been, I guess, priced as when they were designing the units. We'll have to check the estimate, but I do not think we're installing the we are. I mean, we did provide the power too. You can cross that out.
And that would be more of just a benchmark because you know to have all of our stuff in, so the appliance vendor can install those appliances.
Okay.
If y'all have any more questions, I mean, okay. As far as the last thing I'll talk about is the closeouts. As far as documentation, I know that can be a pain for you as the general contractor, you as the owner, and you know we want to get closeouts to you before the end of the job. You know, I know our work is going to be kind of mixed within the job, but we want to start getting our closeouts into you. Because I know a lot of times y'all as the general contractor can't get final payment without submitting those closeouts to you, the owner.
You are right.
So you know, and our philosophy, you know, we don't get paid, so y'all get paid. So we're going to try to get that to you as quick as possible.
And what do you consider as part of that closeout process? What are you delivering to Justin at the PM?
That'll be Southern vendor warranties. Like subcontractor general warranties that are required, vendor material warranties, O&M manuals, operation and maintenance manuals, installation instructions, those kind of things.
As-built documents?
Yeah, as-built documents.
Coordinating with our vendors to deliver you guys owner training on any kind of equipment that you
Yeah, one of my big frustrations as an owner is getting as-builts that aren't really as-builts.
Sure.
So will you have someone go around essentially with one of my facility guys and make sure that the circuits match what you're telling me they're matched?
yes, that would be predominantly my job as the project engineer, and then I'll work closely with the superintendent as well. Now I'm not superintending the work, but I'm keeping making sure our quality is upkept and making sure that the workers that we have on site are going by our plans, and then if they're not, either changing that or marking them on plans as they are built there for, of course, our as-built plans. So.
Normally I see these in some sort of a CAD file on
Sure.
CD. Is this what you guys have prepared?
Absolutely, and if
Okay.
you guys decide that you guys are going with BIM, we have the capabilities to do that in-house. Not something you guys address front end, but we have the capabilities to do it.
So is BIM included right now? Because it's something that most people are going towards for their design.
If you guys want it.
Oh yeah, I want
Yeah,
it.
we absolutely want it.
Absolutely. We can provide the minimum building information model and stuff, but a lot of
I'll define minimum.
minimum is what when
because my minimum is different than yours.
Absolutely. And some people, they address their issues in AutoCAD, but we see as people who go ahead and put together our as-builts, do it in Revit. It's very simple for them to do it. They're more efficient at it. And if we want to show you it 2D, if you want the 2D version of it, you have it. If you want the 3D version, it's there. And something in-house that we use as an in-house tool. If you guys want to go to auxiliary extra levels of BIM, we can go all the way.
Well, I'd like to see it all the way down to the outlet. I mean,
Sure.
Is that possible? And
It's not something that we included all the way down to the most minute features to show from a 3D version. We have a phase 1, what we call in-house is a phase 1 building information model, is where we address all the issues where you would see 2D, and then you would be able to go and see that 3D of whatever we would have provided. So if you want to see it in 2D, it's there. 3D, it's not as I guess not as detailed as it could be. If you guys want to go that route, we can make it look like it's a picture. But as of right now, it's a 2D model when you're looking at it, and we can show you the 3D version of what we work with in-house.
So it's a 3D in-house. So when we start doing MEP coordination, for example,
Absolutely.
what tool do you use for that?
We use one tool on actually like when you guys are doing clash detection to be able to send it into your navigator.
Yeah, for coordination. So you have framers,
Right.
concrete,
Well,
mechanical,
Sure.
ductwork.
And BIM can be used, we've seen it used as a very effective tool for coordination for MEP items. Like Alex was saying, we can do it up to a point. I think our biggest tool is understanding the drawings and making sure everybody does understand the drawings. And I hope that answers your question.
Not yet.
Not yet? Okay.
You're looking for the software application?
we're looking. He said that you can model it up to a point. We want to define what that point is.
Yeah, exactly.
We can bring it down to where we can show each individual circuit in the units, so we can make sure that everything's coordinated with our other trades. Because we're all here to work
We don't
together.
normally put that in our estimate. Like
Right.
usually we use BIM if it's a complex project and we have a lot of large feeders that are coming in, and it just kind of helps our guys in the field, and we can coordinate better with the mechanical guys. But
to a point to try to bottom this out, and we're just trying to Justin, what is the
That point,
The point might be you're not doing it, but just tell us.
Well,
Where's that point?
I believe the point being, as far as the residential, as far as the unit goes, there's not a great deal going on electrically. I mean, you have the light wiring going in throughout the unit, so that's not going to be much of a problem if you're running into plumbing. You run it around the plumbing. That's not too big of a problem. So that being to the point to which we'll BIM model. We're not going to model down to the outlet because we're not, at least for this type project, we're not anticipating, or at least for the units in this project, we're not anticipating to have to mark out all of our outlets because we're not seeing any clashing with our plumbing going on. So where it would come in is say the long corridors where we're running feeders up like services.
Conduit and higher,
Yes.
maybe recessed light fixtures.
That would be the
panels.
point to which we're modeling.
Okay.
So you would model your switchgear and bus duct? Because one of the things I'm concerned about as an engineer is maintaining clearances between other trades and between your own equipment. So will you be modeling the bus duct?
Yes.
And the meter mains? And maybe even the units, the unit panels inside the units?
Right.
Okay.
Well,
And that's
yeah.
included in your price right now?
Absolutely. And some of that stuff is typical. You know, we run it at a lot of jobs. A lot of it is simple fixes for your job. We have a lot of those in-place models ready to insert into your model and configure it to what you need.
I think you can just throw in the outlets and we'll call it a day.
Absolutely.
All right.
Alright, we beat that one to death.
All right.
I'm gonna give it over to Wes for some more information.
So yeah, my name is Wesley Sims. I'm your project engineer. I'm not your normal project engineer. You know, normally that's just like your assistant to the project manager, just doing, you know, whatever the project manager needs you to pick up. I am actually the in-house professional engineer, electrical engineer. So I am actually taking over the design. I'm actually working with our superintendent on the design. So if you ask questions, it's going to bounce between I or Bradley here. Now to start with our design build, we started with the methodology. How did we come up with our design? Now what we started with was receptacle placement. Well, actually, we started with your design, your basis for design, looking through what do you want in each unit, in each room, in your bathrooms, in your kitchens. What kind of lights do you want? So that, of course, being the tacit base from which we started. And then we moved on to, we started with our receptacle placement, you know, and that includes types, you know, GFCI, where are we having GFCI outlets, where are we doing switched outlets and all that.
How did you, real quick, how did you figure the spacing on the outlets, receptacles specifically?
The spacing, of course, is NEC being on a wall. You can't be farther than 6 feet away from an outlet on the wall. So that being our basis for spacing in receptacles, for the most part. Now, of course, you get in smaller spaces, areas where you want more receptacles, we added more. And you'll see that, like, convenience and ease of access to our receptacles, we added more in some rooms, like our bedrooms, in I believe the studios, there in the A1 units. I believe that was the room number. Like our bedrooms there, we had 5 or 6 receptacle outlets. 2 of those being switched, and that just, yeah, it may be overkill, but you can never have enough receptacles in your bedroom, and you find that out when, you know, you're trying to figure out somewhere to plug in your cell phone charger, and it's behind your bed, and there's not another one for, you know, you don't have a 12-foot cell phone charging cord. So we added more.
And I appreciate that because I like receptacles. But if there is some opportunity to remove some of these receptacles and still meet code, do you have any, like maybe a per unit cost to, you know, for a receptacle that we could use to estimate what a potential deduct might be?
I do not believe we have yet a unit cost, well, at least on paper.
Okay.
Now in our bid, yeah, it's going to count up when we're using AccuBid, I believe.
Right.
We'll let.
Yeah, I mean, we would work with you, figure out what you want, you know, the quality, you know, if you're trying to do it as cheap as you can, you just want it strictly by code, we would have to, you know, just get those numbers from AccuBid or from, you know, vendors, I mean, they're typical numbers, and then just.
Right, we're always looking at opportunities to save money,
right,
so this might be a potential
That
option.
would be absolutely send you pricing. It have to be a design build, deductible. It's not. You certainly don't want to, you know, go ahead and take it off.
And I'm sorry. Is that,
No, please go ahead.
And then on in our methodology, we then went to our lighting placement. So yeah, where do you want lights? So where do you want overhead lights? Where do you want wall lights? Where do you want your shower fan lights? Of course, in the shower. But that was our second step in our methodology. And then, like I said, we talked about convenience of use. You know, like having multiple, not just one switched outlet and a switched receptacle outlet in our bedrooms. Having more than one, I believe, if I can remember off the top of my head, we have one on either side of the bed, for the sake of having a lamp on either side, whichever side you have your bedside table. You have that switched receptacle there. Now, of course, if we need to remove it for the sake of cost, you have the other one there, so you'll catch it there. And then as far as our Title compliance, Title 24 compliance goes, that's with our daylighting, like in most of our units. well, like in all of our units, I guess, they all have a large a window there in the living area, and so you're not putting in overhead lights there because we're assuming that between the switch receptacles and your window there, you're going to be covered on light. And then, yes, switched outlets, and then vacancy